Our governor, he's not playing out. He is not playing. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and what's up to my new subscribers or new guests if you are here new to my channel. So if you're subscribed to my channel, you might have seen my last video. I just recently came back from traveling. I went to Georgia, and if you did not see that video, I will leave it in the description box below so you guys can check that out. I basically wanted to show you guys an updated traveling alone video, and I also wanted to tell you guys how it's been since COVID, because things are just a slight bit different if you're coming into New York. Leaving was okay, but coming back, it was a little different. And so we're gonna get into that later on. For my wheelchair users, if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, I think the last time I posted a video traveling alone as a wheelchair user was in 2018, and that was actually the last time I've flown and went to Georgia. So if you guys didn't already see that video, I will list that in the description box below too, so you can check that out, because when it comes down to the transferring and me getting onto the plane, none of that has changed. It's still the same. I usually try to fly with Delta when I'm going away, just because I really love Delta. Like, I feel like they're great service, they're really professional. Personally, they always take care of me. I mean, it's their job to make you feel comfortable and welcomed when you're flying with them. But I don't know if I ever showed you guys, when flying and you have a wheelchair, they usually tag your chair with this. If you have your own chair, they give you one of these like little tags for your chair, and you're supposed to actually leave it on your chair for your whole trip. So like for you leaving and then you coming back, keep this on your chair, because like if you lose your chair or if they lose your chair, this is like proof for them to find it. And this also prevents them from putting it with baggage claim. So usually where they put my wheelchair is under the plane, so it's not somewhere else, and it's easier for them to get it for me when it's time to go. And it says do not deliver to baggage claim too, so that's actually pretty good. I don't know if you guys can see it. So it actually says that as well on the bottom, and I guess these are like the SKU number to scan it, that it was scanned on with your flight. So I'm gonna give you guys like 5 tips that's first of all really important when traveling. Tip number 1, and this is for anyone traveling, not just if you're a wheelchair user or disabled. Number 1 is make sure that you are prepared the night before. So not even the night before, sorry. Make sure you're prepared like 2 days in advance. So if you're gonna be going away and you're gonna be going away for like a timely visit or getaway, I was going away for a week, so I knew that I needed certain things. I packed for a week in advance, because I just also didn't know if I was gonna extend my stay. So what I did was I made sure that I packed up all my stuff 2 days in advance. I usually have a checklist and my notepad and my phone, or just like written down somewhere, just to make sure I know what's important that I need. So that's really important. I think you should make sure that you are prepared and packed in advance. Doing things like the day before, the night before, is like the most annoyingest thing ever, and that's when and how you do forget things. So that I would suggest you guys do that in advance. Another tip that I have is that make sure that you go to your flight on time. This trip, I actually missed my flight. It was for 7:30 and I had missed it. And I didn't leave the proper time like I should have. Like, I don't know why I thought, like, because my flight was early on the flight and we would have like not been in traffic, but that was actually the opposite. We were in traffic. It was a Thursday, and I think like a lot of the traffic is because people are trying to as well be smart and get on the road, especially if you're going to New York City or towards the city. People usually try to go to break and get, so it was traffic, one, and then also getting there, they were actually taking their time at TSA. And also I was having an issue when I had to print out my like boarding pass. It wasn't printing out for some reason, so they had to take me from like the machine to like someone at like one of the desks or whatever to do it. They tried to rush me as fast as they could to get to my like gate on time, but I didn't make it. And that's another thing too. So I think for tip number 3, I think we're in 3 or 2. For tip number 3 is be on time. So like if your flight is like 7:30 like mine was, I would suggest you leave your house like at 5:45. Be at the airport at least an hour and a half in advance, just in case, because you never know what can happen on their side or on yours. I feel like the earlier your flight is, you should be there like 2 hours max earlier, or if it's a late flight, still just be there like an hour and a half on time so you don't have to worry about missing anything, especially if you're a wheelchair user as well. It's important if you be there extra early on time, because I'm pretty sure they do it with everybody else who's in the wheelchair that has their own wheelchair. When it comes down to like the pat down or whatever, because if you can't walk, you can't go through that little slim thing. You have to go around, and then they have like a personal assist. If usually they give you the option that you can go in the back if you don't want to be, like patted and checked out in front of everybody personally. And if you want to just do it privately, you can. Just gonna let you know, if you guys do that privately, that takes more time with you trying to get to your gate. So if you're gonna be someone who wants to be requesting a pat down and being checked out privately, I would definitely get there on time and make sure that you don't miss your flight, because I missed my flight before because of that. Another tip that I think is really important too, when you're traveling as a wheelchair user, someone, if you're going to be traveling alone, depending on your physical situation, everyone's who's in a wheelchair or has a disability situation is different. Go to the bathroom before you get on your flight. I one time, actually twice, 2 times that I went to Vegas, because Vegas is like a 6 hour flight, and it can become longer depending on whatever with, yeah. So using the bathroom on an airplane as like someone in my situation is so annoying, because the bathrooms are really small. And then also it took 2 people to help me to get there. It took one of the flight attendants and my cousin that was with me. They have like a little small like aisle chair to push you, but it's annoying because it doesn't have like a foot part. So like when I had to go to the bathroom, my cousin was kind of like holding my legs, like in front of me, holding my legs up so they wouldn't drag on the floor. And then like the flight attendant was like pushing the like little aisle chair for me, and it was annoying, it was embarrassing. And yeah, so if you're someone who can't walk and you're gonna be traveling alone or traveling with someone period, I would suggest you definitely use the bathroom before you go on your flight. I'm an adult, so I know like I wouldn't want this advice from anyone else because I don't do it. But even if you have a bladder control issue or something like that, just to make it easier on you, well, for the females, I don't really know for the males, but for the females, they do have like urinal pads. Like I usually wear those when I go on my flight, just to be secure and okay, because I'm not wearing diapers. So you can also do that as an option, or like I said, just try to use the bathroom as much as you can before you get on your flight. I'm trying to think if there's like anything else tip wise to help you guys out that has helped me. And my last tip for anyone who has disability or definitely is a wheelchair user, automatically like they're gonna take care of you. It depends on who you're flying with. Like I mentioned earlier, I really love Delta because they're just really professional and they take their job, I don't want to say serious, but they just really always been good to me when I fly with them. Their service is always 100%. Usually I fly, I think it's pronounced economy. Yeah, I fly economy. So when I book my ticket, they do give you an option. You like have like at the bottom, they have like these extra like details or you could put in, and I do put like tap like wheelchair so you can know that I am a wheelchair user. I don't really ever know, like I don't really ever like worry about like the seating, because I always kind of get upgraded. Well, not kind of, I always do get upgraded when I fly, just because I was told that you're not, if you're like a wheelchair user or like a elderly person, someone who can't walk or something that's disabled, you're not supposed to be seated in the back. Only one time I've been seated before in the back of the plane, like all the way in the back, and I was so mad. It was because we had missed our flight, so we had to get on the next flight, and like it was just annoying. That's why earliest tip, get to the airport on time so you don't have to, go through the BS that comes with sometimes missing your flight. But back to what I was saying, usually I automatically get an upgrade with my flight, so I always get pushed back, like pushed to the front, which is a blessing and I love, and I don't want to sound like, oh, special treatment, but yeah, you're not supposed to, like what I was told and heard, that you're not supposed to be put in the back, and you're supposed to be also closer, we're supposed to be also closer to the exits just in case there was an emergency and we had to get off the plane or whatever. Now I'm going to explain to you guys how it was going and coming back since flying with COVID. Going, it was the same, just like it usually was when I used to fly. Nothing too different about that except wearing the face mask and When I don't know if they did this on purpose, but when I was flying to this time around, I actually had a seat to myself. It probably was because also like with the flight, wasn't that many people. My flight was an early morning flight. They usually ask me like, where do you want to sit when I'm getting my thing changed, my when I'm getting my boarding pass changed, and I usually tell them like by the window, just in case like if I have to sit next to somebody, they're not by the window and they have to go to the bathroom, they have to be like kind of smushing past me or whatever, because I can't get up or whatever. So I usually prefer the window seat anyway, and I always love the view. The view is just what always just takes me away, mind blowing. So I always prefer sitting by the window. And the flight was smooth. It was a 2-hour flight. Got there on time, landed everything okay. The usual, I get boarded on first, but I have to get boarded off last because I have to wait for them to get everyone else off the plane, to have the aisle chair to come down to help me out the seat. And again, I'm gonna put down that video for you guys so you can see a better idea of what I'm talking about in the description box below. Now, coming back though was very different. Our governor, he's not playing out. He is not playing. So coming back, the flight was okay. I had an evening flight. I went to sleep, so I really didn't like record too much for that flight because I was tired, and I went to sleep. And when I got up, the usual, I have to wait till everyone get off the plane, and then I'm able to get off with the aisle chair. My chair's waiting for me outside. When I was leaving through like the door to leave from your gate or whatever to get out, they stopped me, and someone was like, oh, you have to fill this out. I personally thought that it was a survey, but I'm like, oh, no, thank you. And the guy was like, oh, he's like, no, I'm not asking you. You have to fill this out. It's mandatory. So I looked at it, and then the guy that was helping me, the wheelchair assistant that was helping me with my chair, he's like, oh, yeah, everyone has to fill these out when they're coming into New York. So I'm going to show you like a quick clip of what it was that I had to fill out, and then tell you guys what it is. So basically, it was a New York State like health form that you have to fill out. They ask you your name, your age, who you fly with, where you're coming from, how long you were there. It's just basically like a whole, it's a front to back paper. So you have to fill it out because of COVID. That was really kind of weird. And, they asked you for your name, your number, all that information and everything. I gave it to them, and I also just like took a quick like video and like a picture just to make sure, like for my own documents. Today is now, I think it's the 15th or the 14th. I don't know what day it is. It's one of those days. Yesterday, I'm going to also show you guys a screenshot. Yesterday, I got a phone call from like the New York State, I don't know, someone with the whole thing that the paper I had to fill out. They called me yesterday. It was a lady, and I had to speak to her. We were on the phone for maybe like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, because she also did a survey on the phone, asked me about symptoms, asked me who I live with, who's in my household, where do I live, and blah, 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 and stuff. And then, after all of that, she told me I have to do a 14-day quarantine. So I'm just like, because when she called me, I was actually already out with my mom. So she's like, oh yeah, we're gonna need you to, quarantine for 14 days. She also gave me the option, either they can call me every day to check on me, see how I'm doing, or I can get a text message. Obviously, I don't want a phone call every day. I told her to give me a text message, and that's basically what they've been doing. So I got one this morning, and it asked me, do you have any symptoms today? Yes or no. 1 for yes, 2 for no. So I put no. I'm gonna show you guys a screenshot of that. And yeah, so they're basically like, our governor is like not playing. Like, they're taking it serious. If you are a visitor coming to New York or someone that lives here, they just really want to be, safe. And I understand like procedure wise, because it is cold now in New York. I don't know if flu season started yet, but yeah, so this is the season and the time when people start getting sick and things, and they're doing as much as they can to prevent that. I know too, when she was asking me questions, she was asking if there's anyone that lives around me or lives with me that's pregnant, or if I'm pregnant, and it's that, because they were saying that more of a high risk for COVID if you're someone that's pregnant or have lived with someone or know someone that's pregnant, to kind of stay away from them till the 14-day quarantine is over. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not doing the full 14-day quarantine. I already been out, and I'm usually around family anyway, and I do have things that I have to do and go out for. Majority of the time I'm already in the house, but like if I have to go out, I will. And they did say as well, like ask me like, oh, do you have anyone that can, you know, go food shopping for you? If not, we can provide that and help you, which I think is really great for anyone who don't have a car or don't have someone that could do that for them. They offer you that as well. But I told them, like, you know, I have someone that helps me and family that helps me, so I didn't need those services, which was really nice for them to ask. So that's pretty much what's different now when it came down to flying. Like if you're flying into New York, you have to fill out paperwork, you have to quarantine for 14 days, you're gonna have someone that's gonna be checking up on you for those 14 days. The lady called me yesterday, she told me I have to quarantine until the 22nd. So I'm gonna be getting those text messages every day until then, which is okay. And I have felt fine since then. You know, I'm not saying that I don't take COVID serious. It is a serious situation and something serious, but my faith is bigger than fear, so I'm not really worried about that. But for like everyone else's, like, you know, safety, and for those who might be scared, I am gonna respect and just keep my distance from like other people that I don't know and stuff. And you know, but like family wise, I came home, I was greeted regularly. Nobody asked like, oh, are you gonna quarantine? My family's not like that. We're really big on religion and our belief, so you know, our God is bigger than COVID. Yeah, so I just basically wanted to give you guys an update on how it's been for me as a wheelchair user and just traveling alone period since COVID. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, coming back with the flight, because the flight coming back was actually a little more packed from when I had left. And since it was an evening flight, a lot of people were coming to New York. I don't know if they're coming home or visiting or whatever. I know when this time around I was sitting in a row with someone, but we had a space in between us. I don't know if they did that on purpose or not, but he was actually by the window this time because I actually got boarded on late because I don't know why, like it was just so busy coming back in, and a guy was already by the window seat, so you know, he was in my spot, but it's whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video was helpful for anyone who may be thinking about flying into New York anytime soon. I don't know how it's gonna be after this year's over, if it's gonna be the same or different or more procedures or rules with flying to New York and outside of New York. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up for anyone who may be probably planning on leaving for, what do we have, Thanksgiving coming up and Christmas, or if you wanted to come and visit for, you know, those holidays, for see family, or just to come here and just, you know, see New York. But I'm gonna end this video now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're not already, and feel free to share this video for anyone, like I said, who may be planning on visiting New York anytime soon or leaving, just so you have an idea of, you know, what you have to do to go away. So I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.